Social Bees University DAO. So I'm on the docs, right? And I wanted to start off with the SBU NFT holders have complete control, right? Let me get down here again. We have, as an NFT holder, you have complete control over the DAO smart contract, the DAO contract. Any proposal or interaction pertaining to a DAO contract will require a vote to pass. Contract proposals, this is just talking about 20% quorum and a vote in order to pass, right? 70%. And the reason I'm touching on that is because I was going through, before we did the show and seeing, right? Here's another article talking about right here. DAOs own the smart contract and digital assets, NFTs, to bring autonomy, removing the concept of a CEO and leadership from any NFT platform. And I know that when we always talk about concepts, and I try to get people to understand, because Austin and Tim, I mean, how hard is it usually to get people, pulled from that top down leadership, I need a leader type thing? How many times, since I know you guys have been in, isn't that always kind of an issue? Is that they're always looking for, okay, well, what do I do? It's really just do something, right? Just find your thing and start doing it. If it's wrong, we can correct and do things right like that. But that's really one of the main things, is that as an NFT holder, you're an owner of the smart contract that has been built and the digital assets that are in it, right? But now also removing the concept of a top-down leadership from the NFT platform, because we're a decentralized organization. What do you guys, for me, that has been one of the most difficult, not most difficult, but it's been hard to get people past that, right?
Yeah, well, just look at society. 95% of the workforce, they're employees as opposed to entrepreneurs.
Right.
And for not saying that's good or bad, but that's kind of like the mindset that we're going away from. So instead of having a bunch of employees, we're going to where we're all owners. So we're entrepreneurs in our own rights to see, what we can create within this new economy. And so nobody's an employee of somebody else. In this DAO, we're all on the same level of executive power, executive decision making, executive work. It's nobody's an employee of somebody else. And so right. It's a difficult mind shift, especially for people that have been in the workforce with the store manager and a regional manager and an executive team and a corporate team and whatnot. In the corporate workforce, it's a completely different structure to where we are the corporation, if that makes sense.
Right. And it's not that you're just getting some kind of, salary or hourly rate, right? It's that we all hold it. We all hold this asset. And, it kind of should put a fire under each and every one of us, because we're the ones that are going to make it more valuable. We're the ones that are going to make, get the marketing, or we're the ones that are going to talk about it. We're the ones that are going to come out with the, talking, how you do the talking points of it or whatever. And it's, it's all up to every one of the NFT holders, even token holders, everyone. Look at M2, that same thing. These are all assets that we hold, right? And it's always shifted. That's why I'm telling you, I like to talk about concepts and how this all, you got to think about it before you really start understanding what's really going on here, because it is different, right? People are not used to that, and that's just one of the ones that's always been hard to unlock. The thought process of people. To me, I just thought,
Yeah, I always look at it. I don't know if it's the right word, but I say it's equity in an organization that happens to come with a JPEG, happens to come with a piece of art. And that represents like your ownership in there. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right wording or whatnot, but it's kind of like a way I look at it. Mm-hmm. And, it's called a community, right? We always use that word community. Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, the community is a group of people that have their own unique talents, skills, contributions to this organization. They're not employees to anybody else. So it's not a group of employees. It's a community of people that are coming together for a greater cause and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. And for like a movement, like that we talk about as well. I mean, that's how you do change things, right? Everybody's got to start kind of believing in what's going on, not just specifically here. That's why I'm saying it's always been a battle with this whole decentralized versus centralized. That's why I'm glad this whole year kind of happened, because it really needed to kind of, kick us in the pants, right? Because everybody was starting to do the same old stuff, man. You know, using all the centralized things. And I'm like I said, I'm hoping that this really was a good kick in the rear end, and everybody really starts taking this serious. You know, even this, you know, kind of what happened, you know, in our community with this, you know, kind of person getting hammered by whatever this, like I said, this somebody compromising their wallets. Like I said, there's good and bad, but you know, we should all take this very serious.
I got a
Users,
question here, Ray.
yeah.
So Lucky Jean says, can you give an example of the voting thing? And says, I have an idea. I bring it up, and the community decides whether it's cool or not. Yeah. So basically, I mean, I think you're on the
yeah, right here,
the docs right there. So yeah, you can go. The SBU NFT holders have a complete control over the DAO smart contracts. Any proposal or interaction pertaining to the DAO contract requires a vote to pass. Proposals require 20% quorum and 70% for in the affirmative to vote in order for that to pass. So yeah, there it is right there. When you make a proposal, you got to have at least 20% of the people voting and 70% of those people voting for it to happen.
Well, and let's just, as an example, let's just say, I don't know. I mean, there's a time frame of this whole, the bees yielding, right? Say we wanted to extend it to 50 years, right? Instead of a certain time period that's now. Say you wanted to change that contract to say, hey, I want to be able to the bee to yield for 50 years, right? That's the time frame. There would have to be us, you know, as a bee holder, one of us. It only takes one to write that into the DAO. Let me look at it and go over there. So you say and see the DAO here, right? And everybody, you'll start seeing where they'll have documents on how you would do it. But you would click into this DAO, and then you know there's the create a proposal, right? You would hook up your wallet, okay, and you create a proposal. And like I said, there's steps. You'll see there's a document that shows you how to do it. But then you would put that proposal in, and as Tim was saying, you need 20% quorum of the entire collection of bees. So 20% of the entire collection of bees has to be in the voting, and you have to get 70% of that 20%, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you do, then the smart contract gets approved, and the developers would, I guess, make the adjustments for the coding that needs to happen. And then, you know, the code will be pushed. I don't know if, you know, all that stuff with the timing and scheduling and time frame would have to be voted on, but I'm probably, you know, sure it probably doesn't. But who knows? I don't know. But yeah, then that contract would be adjusted. The developers change the code. It would be pushed. And now, you know, you just made an adjustment, you know, by just a vote, right? By just holding a B NFT and proposing this thing to the DAO. Does that make sense? Is that pretty much on right with that, Austin?
Yeah.
Did you add anything?
Yeah, in this case, whatever. So the developers won't have any control over this. Right. So if there's like a vote, it can be something as simple as like, or mostly in our treasury, our DAO contract has bee honey tokens. There's some waifu tokens in there. I think maybe some goats, but for the most part, there's bee honey tokens in there. And so it could be something as simple as transfer 10 bee honey tokens to this address. And that's a proposal. Well, everybody can go vote on it, and the execution of that transfer has been delegated to the success of that vote. So if it's all voted for, it's automatic. It gets executed and it gets sent. So there's nobody in the developers don't have to go in there and program or do any contracts or do any changes. It's the 100% of the transfer function out of that DAO contract is delegated to the vote succession. So if it succeeds, then it just needs somebody to pay a gas fee. Anybody can do it. They don't have to own a bee. They pay a gas fee to execute it. And whatever that function was that they're asking for, if it's just transferring 10 bee honey, it gets automatically sent